When is the last time you've cried? Do you remember? Whether it's a cry of joy and happiness or a cry of sadness and despair. From my personal experience, I remember being surprised by the last time my feelings were expressed by tears, since I usually don't. Recently, I saw my dad cry for the first time ever because of his school activity regarding expressing our emotions. And I did express my emotions with him, and he with me for the first time. But crying is normal. I have cried before and I've been sad before, lonely. I do remember the last time when my mom last cried though, when my sister last cried, when my girlfriends last cried. But if we all have these compressed feelings, why don't men seem to express them through that same normal human emotional outlet? Because it is not typically normalized in our modern society. Modern stereotypes that are often normalized, however, are, for example, that men don't cry. Men are strong, bold, and aggressive. The mere idea of masculinity is a stereotype imposed on men as they are expected to be strong, muscular, smart, and tall. Personality-wise, this stereotype usually dictates that men should be dominant and aggressive, never leaving room for emotions to be shown or expressed. These stereotypes have been prevalent in our society for years, and the fact is that they have been around for decades. My dad is a person who I look up to because of the determination and effort he shows every single day he goes to work. As the story tells, my dad's parents were not very present during his childhood. He was always around his grandpa, and when he passed away, my dad carried the burden with him. He doesn't admit it, but as I learned more about the societal issue, the more I saw that he had no one to express his feelings to, so he never learned. All the stress, sadness, and anger all compressed in him throughout the years eventually led me to believe that expressing my feelings and crying isn't my best solution. In contrast, however, my mom does want me to express my feelings. Why? Because women tend to express their feelings more regularly than men. You see, from my own personal experience, whenever I'm at a friend's house or interacting with new people, I can tell that their dads are also like my dad, and that their moms are like mine, personality-wise. Me and my siblings have been affected in some way or another by my dad's compression of feelings, and I believe that men are stubborn to accept their issues or accept help. The compression of my feelings and problems in its due time had led me not only to mental health issues, but issues with the people I care about. These stereotypes create a fictional and unproductive standard amongst men, imposing a narrow definition of masculinity that messes with the outlet that is emotional expression. The societal pressure to conform to this rigid ideal not only typically places an immense burden on men, but also sets the stage for a cascade of detrimental consequences. The toll is evident in the deterioration of men's mental health as they grapple with internalized emotions, often leading to anxiety, depression, and other mental health challenges. Tragically, the most severe consequence of these entrenched stereotypes is the heightened risk of suicide amongst men. The World Health Organization reports that men are more likely to die by suicide than women, with societal expectations around masculinity playing a significant role in the alarming disparity. The pressure to conform to an unyielding standard of strength without vulnerability leaves many men feeling trapped and without an outlet for their emotional pain. The inability to openly share emotions hinders genuine connections and intimacy, leaving men isolated in their struggles. Unexpressed feelings can strain relationships with friends, family, and romantic partners, as the emotional distance created by conforming to the tough guy persona erodes the foundations of trust and understanding. It is often stated or believed that men do not have these issues, that men have it easier than the contrasting gender, and yes, there are definitely societal advantages that men have over women, but this talk is not to focus entirely on the men, but because men's mental health deterioration statistically takes a bigger death toll on men's lives. By working together, we can break free from the confines of outdated stereotypes and pave the way for a future where men can navigate their emotions with courage, compassion, and understanding. We must challenge the prevailing norms and redefine masculinity to include emotional openness and vulnerability. By fostering an environment that values the richness of the human experience, irrespective of gender, we can create a society where men feel empowered to seek help, express their emotions authentically, and build a stronger, more resilient connections with others. So, next time you feel like crying, do it. Let's work together to challenge stereotypes, support one another, and create a world where emotional openness is celebrated and strength is defined by the courage to be vulnerable. Thank you.